Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's session we'll see the queries, two queries, that is the creation of a table and inserting the values into a table in MySQL using the Python application. So in the previous session we have seen how to create a database from the Python application, and in today's session we'll see how to create a table in that particular database and how to insert the records into that particular table. So first of all we'll see the syntax here, and then we'll move on to the computer and I will show you demonstrating these two queries on the system, right? Create, insert. So two queries, we are going to discuss about these two things. So in the previous session we have seen, in order to establish a connection or in order to work with the MySQL with the help of Python application, we required 4 steps. One is importing the SQL connector. Second one is establishing the connection by using connect method. Third one, the query, writing the query, cursor object, and the fourth one is a query, right? So here the query is in order to create the table. So first of all we need to connect with the database. So by using connect method, some connection is equal to mysql dot connector dot connect. So here we are supposed to give the host name, the first parameter host name. So our host will be the local host, and then the second parameter is a user. Third parameter is a password. So all these things we have seen in the previous session. So I have given some computer as a root password in my system. And the fourth parameter is a database in which we want to create the tables. Okay. So database is equal to, here give the database name. Okay. So how to know what are the databases available in our MySQL? So go to the MySQL command line. MySQL command line. So there you can get the cursor, and there you can type show databases. So if you type this one, automatically we'll get all the data types available in that particular this one, right? So then you can select one database in order to create the tables, right? So I will show you in the system, no worry. So after creating the connection, we need to view the cursor object. So for cursor object, we need to go with connection dot cursor, because all the queries should be executed with the help of cursor object. Okay. So then cursor dot execute, and here we need to write the query. Simply you can write this query under one variable and you can pass the variable here. So anything is no problem. Okay, anything is no problem. You can write the query under one single name and you can pass this single name as a parameter to the execute function. Okay, now I will give you the syntax for creating a table. Right? So the syntax is create table name. So table name should be given here. So here you go with column 1 data type. Okay, so null or not null, followed by key, comma. Similarly, column 2 data type null and key. Similarly, so on. Column n data type null or not null and key. So like this we need to give different columns, and for each and every column there must be a data type, and we need to give the constraint whether it can be acceptable null or not null, and we need to give some keys, right? See, For example, take the student table. I need to give some roll number, I need to give some name, yes name, and I need to give some branch. So my table consists of three columns. My table consists of three columns. So first column I would like to write here roll number, and the data type. The data type for roll number is integer. I will go with the integer, right? So integer, and I have to give a null or not null. So if you give a null, the record will be accepted if you are not giving this roll number. Okay. After that, we need to insert the elements, right? For example, I am going to insert some roll number 501, S name as ABC, and branch as CSC. So I need to give these details. And if you are giving null here, it will accept the record, the complete record without the roll number. Similarly, if you give null here, it will accept the record without S name. Similarly, if you give null in the branch, it will accept the record without the branch name. So if I give a not null, if you are giving a not null here, if you are mentioning not null for the particular column, that column will be mandatory. So the user should give the data for that particular column. So say I am giving some not null to roll number, without the roll number the record will not be inserted here, right? And coming to the key, so if you are not giving any key, if you are not specifying any key, if you give some 501 and ABC CSC, and again if you want to, if you are giving the same number 501, some DEF and some ECE or CSC, right? So this is a second record. This will be inserted. So you can observe the same roll number have been given for two names. So actually this must not be possible, right? So coming to the address, or coming to the mobile number, or coming to the roll number, or coming to the email number, so that must be a unique ID. So there should not be a duplicate. So if you are not giving this key, this insertion is possible. And if you are giving this key as a primary key, if you are using the primary key, then if you are giving the same number another time, it will not be accepted. Even though the another columns are different, the roll number is 501, that is completely different. So it will not accept that one. Okay. So it will remove the duplicates. It will not allow the duplicates. Okay, so we know that roll numbers will be unique. So one roll number should not be given to multiple students. So that constraint will be satisfied here if you are giving primary key. If you are giving the primary key. So if you are not giving the primary key, simply you can go with the column name. See, I will write here. So create table. So I will go with the students or student and go with the roll number int comma. Similarly, yes name. So name is a string, okay, character. So we can give as a varchar. Varchar means alphanumeric will be accepted, and here we have to give the length of the name. So how much length, maximum how much length it should be accepted. So I will give some 30. So 30 characters will be accepted here. Similarly, comma. I will go with a branch, and branch is also some varchar of 10. Okay, so I have created one table. So this statement will create a student table with a roll number, student name, and a branch without any constraints. So it can accept the multiple values. Okay, it can accept the duplicates, as well as without giving any one of the column, the record will also be accepted. Right? So hope you understood this one. Now I will write the complete query here. For the create table student roll number integer not null. So I will give a not null, because without the roll number the record should not be entered, right? Not null primary key. So with respect to the roll number, there must be no duplicates. Comma, go with the second column, yes name, varchar. So this is a character, right? Varchar of 20. The maximum length it should be accepted is 20 characters, and not null. So the names can be equal. Okay, the names can be equal. So I am not giving any primary key to this name, comma, branch varchar 10 not null. So here I have given the 3 columns, roll number, name and branch. I have given not null for everything, and I have given some primary key to the roll number. So with respect to the roll number, no duplicates must be added here, right? So this is how we can create the table. And if it is a varchar, that should be, I mean, while inserting the elements, we have to enclose in double quotations. Okay, now hope you understood this creating a table. So I will give this table to some queue, and then by using the cursor object, cursor dot execute method I will pass this queue here. So automatically the query will be executed and the table will be created under the given database. So here I will give some database as Saradhi or Sundeep, so which is available in our databases list. So this table will be created in this database. Okay, so I will show you the demonstrate. I will demonstrate each and everything on the system. Don't worry, this is a simple syntax. Now, once the table is created, then how to insert the values into a table? Insertion. So insertion can be, so q is equal to, write the query one time. So insert into table name. What is the table name? Student. Write down the columns orderly. So first one is roll number, yes name, branch. Okay, values, give the format specifiers, percentages, all are the string. Okay, if we consider everything as a string, so give all the percentages. So this is the query, and we need to give the values. So the values for these columns must be given in terms of tuple. So give the tuple, first roll number, some 501, comma, yes name. So this is a varchar, right? String. So that's why we have to enclose in double quotations. So double quotations, some give ABC, comma, branch is also the string, so give the branch in double quotations, right? So this is the query and this is the result. Okay, this is a record. So give any name, no problem. I have given some q and b. Now the same step, cursor object dot execute. So in order to execute the query, we have to pass this query inside the execute method. Now along with the query, we have to pass this value also. So this method will insert the given values by executing this query into the table. Okay, so current object, cursor object dot execute method, and here we need to give both the query as well as the value. So this is how we can insert the records into a database, and this is for single record, inserting single record. This is for a single record. So if you want to insert more than one records at a time, multiple records. For multiple records, you just give the query is same. So q is equal to same, and a value must be in terms of list of tuples. So I will give you some 502, comma DEF, comma CSC. So this is the one record, comma, go with the second record. So 503, comma GHI, comma CSC. So this is a one more record. Okay, like this we can give n number of records. So just a list of tuples in the form of list of tuples. So and then the same concept, cursor object dot execute, and here we are writing execute. Here we are trying to insert more number of records at a time, so we have to go with execute many. Execute many. So we are inserting many records at a time. So execute many, give the query and a value. Give the query and a value. So once again I am saying the query is common. So if you are inserting a single record or if you are inserting a multiple records at a time, the query is same, but the value will be different. The value means here we are giving only one record, so only in the form of tuple, and here we are giving a multiple records in the form of list of tuples. List of tuples, and this will be directly inserting into this table, okay, this table on these columns. So roll number 501 ABC CSC. So after executing this one, we'll get 501 ABC CSC. Similarly, 502 DEF CSC. Similarly, 503 GHI CSC. So it will accept the table. Okay, the table will be created with these records. So this is how we can insert single record and then multiple records. Okay, hope you understood. The syntax is same, but we are going with cursor.execute here, and here cursor.execute many. Here we are giving only one tuple, and here we are giving a list of tuples. That's the only difference. The query is same. The query is same. So whatever the data type the column belongs, we need to give the format specifiers as %yes. Right? So hope you understood this one. So whatever the query we are writing, we need to follow the 4 steps. First, we need to import the SQL connector module. The second one, establish the connection by using the connect method, and the third, create the cursor object, because all the MySQL queries should be executed with the help of a cursor object. So we need to create a cursor object and then execute the query by using the execute method. By execute method, we have to execute the query. So these things are common. The only thing will be changing, that is a query. So if you want to create a table, we are writing the create syntax. If you want to insert the elements, we are writing some insert query. And if you want to update query will be written. If you want to drop the table, that means delete the complete table, we need to go with the delete query, right? So in the further sessions, we'll see some more queries. So hope you understood this one. Let's move on to the system. I will demonstrate each and every query. That means how to create the table and how to insert the single elements and how to single record and how to insert the multiple records. So let's move on to the system. Hello friends. So just now we have seen the create and insert queries in MySQL. So using Python. Now I will demonstrate those two queries by executing a small program in Jupyter Notebook. So create is to create a table to the database. So whatever it may be, if you want to work with MySQL using Python, we require to use 4 steps. So that is, first we have to import the module mysql.connector and then create the connection, establish the connection. So for that, establishing the connection, we have to use a connect method. So connect, here you have to mention the localhost. So localhost, and then give the username and password. So user is root and password which you have set while installing the MySQL. So I have given my password as a computer, and then in which database you want to create the table. So we are having a lot of databases. So you can observe, you can open the MySQL client, command line client or workbench, whatever it may be, and you can know the different databases available in that MySQL by giving the show databases command. So show databases command. So we are having these are the databases available. So I will create a table in Sundeep database. Now database is equal to Sundeep. Now in order to execute any query of MySQL using Python, so we need to give the cursor object. So through the cursor object itself, we have to execute the query. So first of all, we need to create a cursor object by using this cursor is equal to connection.cursor method. So in order to execute the query, we need to give some execute command. So execute and give the query here, create table student, and give the roll number. First column name I need to give the roll number, which should not which is of int data type, and which should not be null. That means if you are not giving any value for the roll number, it will not accept it, right? So that is mandatory, that value must be given for this number. And also I want to give the primary key. Primary key means in order to avoid the duplicates with respect to this column, right? And the second one is a student name, which is of character data type, string data type. So here in MySQL, the string data type means a varchar, and we have to give the length, and this also we need to go with the not null. And then branch, I will go with the branch. Branch is also of varchar character type, and this is also some 10, and this is also not null. I just want to give a not null, right? So then just close the connection after completion of this one. So if you execute this one, so you can observe the number appeared here, that means the executed perfectly. So you can check. So we have created a table in Sundeep database. Now we have to move to the Sundeep database. For moving into the Sundeep database, you go with this command, use the database name. So automatically it will, database will be changed. Now show tables will give the tables of Sundeep database. You can observe. So Sundeep student is a table which we have created just now. So in order to know the columns for this student, go with this command DESC, description student, so that we'll get the complete fields. So first field we have given roll number, integer data type, null, no, primary key, default null. Okay, see, that's what we have given. The second field is s name, varchar, not null, and we have not given any key here. Similarly, third one, right? So this is how we have created. This is how we can use the create query. Now the question is how to insert the values. So for insertion, the values, the same should be applied, and the only difference is here you need to change the query. So I will go with the query. Query is equal to, give the query in inverted quotations, insert into table name, that is a student. Give the order of the fields. First one is roll number, comma, s name, comma, branch, right? And values, give the format specifiers. Here we need to give the format specifier. For anything it will be percentage yes. And next, in the next statement, give the values for that one. So some v is equal to, give the values in terms of tuple. So here the three fields, we need to give the three columns. So the data for the three columns, that is roll number, student name, and branch. For every student there will be three fields. So all these things should be given in tuple, comma separated values. So first roll number, I will go with the 501, and s name, some Abraham, and next that's a branch, it's a CSC, right? So here we need to execute this one. So instead of query, we'll go with the q comma v, right? And just go with this this execute command in a try and except block, because if any exception occurs, automatically it will be rollback, right? Otherwise we need to go with the commit. So there are two functions in MySQL, that is a commit and a rollback. So commit means confirmation of the particular data. That means after the data is entered, automatically it will be finalized. And if there is any exceptions, nothing should be happens. So there should be no impact on the table. So that's why we'll go with the rollback. Just like undo operation, right? So just execute this one. So again, you got the number, and you can observe here. So in order to know the data of the students database, student table, go with the query, select star from student. See, you can get the data. And the second one, if you want to move with the second data, you can go with 2 and change the name and give the branch, okay, and just execute this one. So again you will get the 2 students. And if you want to insert a more number of students at a time, so this is a program to insert only one value, right? One row. In order to execute more number of values at a time, then simply you have to give the students list in terms of list of tuples. List of tuples. I will show you. See, ECE, and again you can go with 504, Irish, and ECE, right? And again you can go with 505. So this is a string, so all the string data type, that means a varchar, should be enclosed in double quotations, right? Saradhi and civil. And similarly go with another one, some 506, Raju, civil, right? So here I have given the complete data. So this is one record, this is another record, this is another record, and this is another record. Total 4 records we are inserting at a time. So here one more thing we need to modify, that is, in order to insert only one value, we need to give the execute command. If you need more number of values to be inserted, we have to go with the execute many. Execute many. So for that execute many, instead of giving the query, we are giving some query and a value, right? So just execute this one. You can observe here, so select start from student, you are getting more number of student list. And now here we'll check, see 502, I will go with one more data. I just want to insert this data. Okay, I just want to insert 502 Satish and CSE, and this data will not be inserted because 502 is already available for one student. 502 is given for one student, and we have given a roll number as a primary key, so duplications will not be allowed. So if you execute this one, still if you select this one, we will not get the 502. That data will not be inserted here. That data will not be inserted here. Okay, so hope you understood this one, right? So in order to know whether the data is inserted or not, you just go with the print cursor dot row count. So how many rows are inserted, that will be displayed here. So you can go with the rows inserted, so that if you execute this one, we'll get a -1 row inserted because the row is not inserted. So if you are inserting a new row, if it was inserted, it will display one row will be inserted. So you can observe here 17 Satish and CSE. If you execute this one, so you can observe one row inserted. Now you can find this 507 data here. So you can observe here 507 Satish CSE. So this is how we can execute the create and insert queries in MySQL using Python application, right? So hope you understood this one. So create table means just give the column name, give the data type, give the not null and the primary key. Okay, the key, and these are optional. These are optional. And one more thing, once you create the table without any constraints, that means a primary key or not null, if you are not giving like this, and just created a table with the 3 fields, and later you can also add the primary key, but only with only one constraint, that if you want to add a primary key later after creating a table, the table should not contain any rows. Okay, the table should not contain any rows or records. So empty table, for empty table we can give the constraint, that means we can add the key, right? So if the table contain any records, then it is not possible to give the primary key. Okay, change the keys, right? That's the only constraint. So here while creation itself we are giving primary key, so here there is no problem, right? So hope you understood this one. So let's stop here, and if you are having any doubt regarding the create command, create query or insert query, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. And if you really understood my session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.